We had a very beautiful day worshipping Lord Jagannath, and for the first time, I think we got unexpected gifts from completely unexpectedly. And look at what we got today on this day of Rath Yatra, the Vishnu Sahasranam and the basics of Bhagavad Gita. I do have the Gita by Srila Prabhupada. Now, I want to clarify something. I am not a highly religious person, but I bhakti kind of um, bhakti, it kind of draws me. I'm drawn to bhakti without knowing much of the scriptures. This is how. So this is the Gita that I have, and trust me, I know nothing about it. I would say I have very bits and pieces of gyan about it, but what I think I do have is bhakti. I have bhakti in what, or maybe I describe it as bhakti. Maybe I don't even know what bhakti is. So this was the Gita I had, and these two books I got today so unexpectedly from a brother of mine whose even number I don't have. I don't have his number. And he sent it to me through post because he heard it from my cousin, his own sister. And these are the two books I got this Rath Yatra. I believe that, I firmly believe that I will get some answers from these books, and that is why they have been sent to me. I don't know much about the Vishnu Sahasranam except for the fact that it contains 1,000 names of the Lord, but there must be some very significant piece of information that is needed for me here, because this is so divinely guided. Me receiving these books today. He was actually, my cousin. She came and saw that my daughter reads books. She was very surprised that in this age of mobile phones, she's into books, and she told her brother, who is in Delhi, to send some books while he was sending her some books. And strangely enough, as you would know, these are not books for a 7-year-old, but I don't know why he sent these. So I believe it is through my brother, through my cousin, that some very important information is going to be told to me. And Bhagavad Gita is not easy for the one who is not versed in Sanskrit. I find it difficult. I can read Hindi, like the Devanagari script, and I don't go by verse by verse. What I have always done is, whenever I have some, my mind is very disturbed, I'm trying to find some answers, I just open the Gita and I read. And it's not always that I get answers from the portion that I'm reading, but not always then and there. But I believe that when I read it, it gets ingrained in my mind and I will need it somewhere or the other. So the entire basic thing is that if you believe that you are divinely guided, you will be. And like I said, I'm not a spiritual person. I am a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. I don't know anything, I would say, or maybe I know very less, very, very less. So I'm very, very intrigued by, another very interesting thing is, I'm very intrigued by the Vishnu Sahasranam. Like I said, I only know that it contains 1,000 names of the Lord. And surprisingly, I had seen this picture somewhere. In color, of course. I think it was Pinterest. I'd seen this picture and I loved it. And I opened this book and I see this picture. I saw this picture and I thought that this was a very so this is Narayan, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Paddo, like we say, the lotus. And Narayan is in like he's in such a, his face, I don't know who painted this, but the calmness of his face is, he looks like the creator of the universe here. So I'll put it in very layman terms. Like a lot of us born in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, having read in English medium schools, reading a syllabus that had no, not much trace of what our spiritual religious literature is. I mean, the stories that we have been told have not come from our textbooks, they've come from our parents. Thankfully, my parents narrated me stories from the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, even slokas from the Gita, which really went above my head those during those times. But yeah, so having grown up in that era, uh, in a time when going to the US was a huge thing and relocation was a huge thing, uh, and knowing your own religious literature was looked down upon. So for those kids like us, even we are getting introduced to these things very late in our lives. Um, because right now the winds have turned and things are pretty different now. Um, yes. So the the opening text is very beautiful. It is invoking the Lord, and I think this is going to be very interesting. But I'm not going to read right now because this is all about my divine manifestation. I wasn't definitely looking for. I have looked at these books. I was looking more for an abridged version of the Gita so that I could understand it better myself. This text, like I said, for somebody um, who is not very introduced to Gita and who is so used to reading snippets of information of from the Gita, from the Bhagavad Gita online. I bought this to verify the information, and sometimes it gets tricky. I take this magnificence of a thing, and I'm like, oh no, 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 it'll take some time, and I won't be. But this might be something I'll take up, and I can read. It's a thematic study of Bhagavad Gita, and so beautiful. The thing is that he gifted me something from um, Srila Prabhupada, like from the ISKCON. I think their interpretation is very nice. There are other interpretations, of course, of the Gita, of the Bhagavad Gita, but I'm not sure how they are. So this is a thematic study. I think these are going to be very beautiful. Oh wow, there is a chapter on Sanskrit pronunciation and diacritic guide. I mean, the English of these people, it's so much better than ours. Wow. This is why I say that whenever, uh, the chapter that you open up might have answers to some of your questions at some point of time that were very important. Search for God is a fundamental urge. Look at this. For people who are saying, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of my life? Look at this. Search for God is a fundamental urge. You can make this your purpose. And when I say God, it's not only in deities, in vigrahas that you will find God. I think the best way to find God is to find the God within ourselves. If you know Krishna, when he was asked by Arjuna to show his Vishwarupam, and then Arjuna asks a question which is more for the purpose of laymen like us who would later on read the Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna says, "O Parth, tell me, I know that you are everywhere, you are everything in the universe, but tell me where and how some of your manifestations." And Krishna says, "In the human being, I reside in the heart." I think I think this line changes a lot of my perception towards what God is, who God is. If God is within your heart, all you need to do is be aware of God. And then a lot of the usual things that we want to avoid, the rudeness, the meanness, the unkindness, a lot of it will go away when we are constantly aware of a divine presence in our hearts. So, often of late, I often ask myself, what is the purpose of my life? Like, I haven't found mine. And there may be maybe some people who haven't found theirs. So maybe we, for the confused atmas like us, maybe the search for God might be something. And like I said, the search for God within ourselves. Let's read this paragraph. The existence of an urge indicates the existence of its fulfillment in nature, because nature is complete and perfect. For example, for the fulfillment of hunger and thirst, nature provides food and water. Similarly, the fundamental urge for God in all of us means that such a supreme being exists. Srila Prabhupada said, all are looking for God. Some know it, some don't. Wow. Yes, 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 yes. All are looking for God. Some know it, some don't. Yes, yes, he's so right. He's so right. Like, when Prahlad, his father, what's the name of Prahlad's father? I keep on forgetting. Prahlad's father was Hiranyakashyap, yes. So Hiranyakashyap was also looking for God. He said, "Kahan hai tumhare Bhagwan? Where is your God? Yahan hai tumhare Bhagwan? Yahan, where is your Vishnu?" Prahlad was seeking God and he knew it. Hiranyakashyap was seeking God and he didn't know it. He was so full of himself. He didn't know, but he was seeking God too. He was seeking some validation from Prahlad that, where is your God? And if he's really there, let him come and see me. So, yes, everybody is looking for God. Some of us realize and some of us don't. Many of us don't. And that is why I think in this age of Kali, Nam Jap is so important. Yeah, so, wow. So I think, I don't think it is easy. Like, this is completely, these are completely my views, my opinion. I do not think it is easy to be spiritual all the time in mundane everyday life. And that is why these books exist. And that is why they, a lot of the things exist to tell us a fundamental purpose of life. Be good, do good, and you'll find God. So this is for everybody who is still looking for a purpose in their lives, who's in middle age and still doesn't know what is the purpose of their life. Wow. Okay, it continues. How true. Everyone is looking for happiness, but they don't know the real happiness lies in loving and serving God. Everyone is looking for somebody to follow and worship, be it a cinema star, a sports star, or some famous personality. Everyone is looking for a hero. God is a perfect and complete hero. All desires can be fulfilled by worshipping him. So here is again, I don't know what this painting is, but I spoke about um, God emerging from the pillar on Prahlad's request, and here is God again emerging from some. Okay, no, this is the Dhanush one. Sorry. This is Ram with the Dhanush one, and this is Sita Maya, and he's breaking it. She is ready with the garland. I don't know who created these paintings. This might be Raja Ravi Varma, but I'm not sure. He did create a lot of these religious paintings. Yeah, this is the Raja, and this is the wow. Then again, I'm so hooked by this personal experience of God. God is not just some abstract, intangible entity simply to be argued about. He is actually to be realized by the process of love and service in the company of his devotees. This knowledge is the topmost knowledge by understanding which full realization can be attained. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyek Savagamam Dharmam Susukham Kartam Avyayam. Okay, as you can see, my Sanskrit pronunciation is terrible, so bhul chuk maaf. Translation. Okay, let's read the translation. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. Oh my God, this is the most secret of all secrets. Okay, it is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. It is a perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Okay, what is it? What is the this information? Okay, this that God is not just, he is actually to be realized by the process of love and service in the company of his devotees. Yeah, let's read this personal experience of God. God is not just some abstract, intangible entity simply to be argued about. He is actually to be realized by the process of love and service in the company of his devotees. This knowledge is the topmost knowledge, by understanding which full realization can be attained. So this is a bhakti marg, like they say. I have very limited understanding of it. Like I said, most people of our generation, people born in the 80s and I think till early 90s. So God is to be realized by the process of love and service. Most people are afraid of God. We have been told in our childhoods, right? Like I have been told this very less, so that is the reason maybe why I was less fearful of God and more loving towards him, is that don't do this or God will be angry, don't do this or God will punish you. Like he's some headmaster who's there to, who is looking for our flaws instead of correcting us. So this entire view of perception of God was wrong or misunderstood. Then Krishna says, okay, there is a text here. Maybe I was, this used to be a very, very common question when we were kids. I don't know what kids discuss today, but we used to ask each other, do you think there is God? And then the usual answer would be, do you think there are ghosts? So there would be a question to this question, and somebody would say, oh, ghosts are there. So then the theist would say, then if you believe in ghosts, there's God as well. So the other person would say, I don't believe in God because of the existence of ghosts. How can ghosts remain in a world created by God? So we didn't know back then about the duality, the beauty of duality and polarity. Duality is not always polarity, but many times it is. Duality means the existence of two things, often opposite things, juxtaposed. And as I've grown up, I've realized that life is so much about duality. It's about, I'll give you a very simple example. You see a dress, you've grown maybe heavier than what you were in your 20s. You see a dress, you like it, but you wear it and you think it doesn't look good on you because you're out of shape, quote unquote. um, but then you want to keep the dress as well as return it, and this entire polarity of thoughts maybe creates some duvida, some confusion, but it doesn't make you unhappy, or it's not a villainous thing. So that's the beauty of polarity and duality. Duality, non-duality, and ultimately everything is one. So this narrative, duality and non-duality, and non-duality and duality, so these are very complex. These were back then, they were very very complex things, and we hadn't even heard of those things. So yes, I'll not read. I don't have the guts to read the Sanskrit part. Let's read the translation directly. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Wow. Thus, the direct experience and realization of God is the most clinching proof for the existence of God. Okay, people say, show me God. Yes, 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 this is what we used to say. But do they have the eyes to see God? Are they qualified? What is the power of our eyes to see? In the dark, we cannot even see our own hands in front of our eyes. True. So one must try to develop spiritual vision by following an authorized spiritual process. Then one can actually be qualified. Okay, great. Good examples. Good examples. But like I said, these books are here for my guidance, and there must be something they are trying to tell me. These are the very first verses that I've read, and I've been so excited that it's almost 23 plus minutes that I have started my discourse on what I think, my discourse on my uh, level of spirituality, in which I'm trying to upgrade constantly. So I have to, I just don't have to read this. I have to understand these, and understanding these concepts might be something for my conditioned soul, because I'm now used to a lot of things that I think in a certain way, maybe. But then again, I think I'm very pliable, and I'll be able to, like they say, I'm very bendy in my in how I'm taking my spiritual learning. I'm bendy like Phoebe in my spiritual learning. So this is it mostly. Thank you so very much for anybody who's tuned in. I know this live might not be interesting a lot of people who are definitely watching a lot of other things on live. Um, this definitely is not at all interesting compared to how interesting and funny some of the other live videos are. But yeah, thank you for anybody who's tuned in, and please feel free to write your opinion. Let's not just bash each other. That's what I'm at a very I'm like, I'm in the nursery stage of these things. So like, you don't judge a nursery kid who doesn't know how to read write properly, is just playing with clay and sand. He's at that stage. So I am at that stage. And so let's discuss if there are spiritual seekers who are in that novice stage like I am, we can probably share our ignorance together and be enlightened. Thank you so very much. Happy Rath Yatra. 7 days of glory and grace to God. It's an everyday thing, actually. These 7 days are more special, just like our birthdays. Um, Thank you so very much. God bless you. Thank you.